Hello Unlimited friends, it's Zara back again with another Q&A about the application of law of attraction to our life. The question today comes from Ruchi. Ruchi says, do I need to be extremely happy all the time to match up the frequency of my desires or feeling the emotions that represent any particular desire? I am not happy all the time of the day. Neither do I feel negative or doubtful. I keep myself busy doing other stuff. Does this mean the amount of work that you're talking about in the video? So Ruchi, here's the thing, sweetheart, and it's not just you. It was myself as well as a lot of people who do law of attraction work. We start feeling that we have to eliminate contrast from our life. We start feeling that we need to stay high on the emotional scale all the time. That's just not possible. We cannot eliminate contrast. Contrast is part of the way we live life, but contrast does not have to be negative. You see, negative contrast is an example of negative contrast is not having any money to buy food. That's negative contrast. Example of positive contrast is, I want to buy a shirt. Should I buy it? I like this design. Should I buy it in red or should I buy it in yellow? Or maybe I like blue as well. Okay, I guess I'll buy 2 of them or all 3 of them. That is positive contrast. In negative contrast, there is lack. And in positive contrast, there is choice, not lack. That is an extremely important difference that I want you to understand, and I want everyone else to understand that as well. Now, the second thing that I want you to understand is that contrast is never going to go away. Contrast is part of living life on planet Earth. And in fact, the joy, where does the feeling of joy come from? The feeling of joy comes from achieving your desires, whether that desire is a cup of coffee, a glass of water, or a BMW, it doesn't matter. When we achieve our desire, we get a rush, and that rush is joy. But sweetheart, unless you give birth to desires, and desires are born out of contrast, desires are born out of wanting something new or different from what you currently have. Without that, there would be no gap to close. And if there's no gap to close, then there is no joy. Joy exists because there is contrast. Joy exists because we can close the gap. And the third thing I want you to know, that no one can actually stay in a place of joy all the time because it would become really boring. Imagine getting to an orgasm and then staying there all the time. That's not fun. That's painful. The fun is in experiencing it and then coming back down to a place of satisfaction. And that's where you can stay. You stay in satisfaction. And the conclusion, the bottom line is that you can always stay in a place of satisfaction, whether or not you experience an orgasm. You can still be satisfied. And that is what living life is all about. Experience the contrast, stay in satisfaction when you close the gap, because what is satisfaction? Satisfaction is the process of moving towards your desires without resistance. Stay satisfied, experience the orgasm, and come back to satisfaction. In terms of relationships, we can translate that as be satisfied with the mate that you have. Enjoy that satisfaction and then enjoy the orgasm and come back to satisfaction. And so the work that we do is to help us to stay in a place of satisfaction. I am satisfied with what I have. That's a way of being thankful, grateful, appreciative of what you have. That feeling is satisfaction. And joy is the feeling when the universe surprises and delights you. Something happens, whether you asked for it or whether it was a true surprise. You didn't even know you wanted it, and then the universe brought it to you. That's the pinnacle. You don't stay there forever, and you should not want to stay there forever, because then it becomes boring. You'll see that people who have a lot of wealth, meaning they have so much wealth that they don't know what to do with it, they find reasons to use their wealth. They, from the point of view of someone who is low on the emotional scale and does not have enough money to sustain themselves, to them, the things that those wealthy people do seem stupid or over the top or frivolous or wasteful. But in reality, those people who have that much money are just trying to create contrast. They're trying to create desire for something new. Because if they didn't have the desire for something new, life would be over. We cannot be in a place of love and high on the emotional scale, that high on the emotional scale all the time, because then there would be no point in being physical. The joy of physicality is in feeling contrast. All right, Ruchi, I hope that this response helps you, and I hope that it helps everyone who is visiting here to understand law of attraction at a deeper level and be able to use these little tips and tricks to stay high on the emotional scale and to get the most out of your life. And you know the drill. Before you leave, please drop me a comment, click on that like button, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so that I can invite you back to my channel. Thank you again, and bye for now.